like newborn babies long for the pure milk of the word, so by it you may grow. So we'll know when to do that. And of course, the water. Okay? We have the privilege of doing these things to take care of a plant so that it can be healthy. Right? Read that. I planted, Apollos watered, but God caused increase. We recognize right away that again, we get to be involved, but it's all about God. All right. Now, here we go. 2 tomato plants, same size, same age, per se. One of these tomato plants is going to get attention, and the other is going to be Karen's tomato plant. And one is going to just be neglected, though. Karen doesn't neglect them, it's just not working out.
The bugs are just overworking.
Yeah. And so we're going to see what happens when one is taken care of and one isn't. All right? And so we're going to think about a call to joy and a new Christian meeting up with the person that's going to disciple. Okay? In week 1, this person meets his Paul, and he goes, "Wow, thank you. You going to spend time with me?" He said, "Yeah, I'm going to give you a book and everything, man. And we're going to do Bible study together. We're going to meet together. We're going to get this is cool, man. I'm really glad." So that's week 1. He's just excited. He's got a new friend, got a new book, and get to use it with him. Week 2, he's already had a good time. He's already used his Bible a little bit and read quiet times and did a little praying, and he's not used to that. Man, this is exciting. It's making sense a little bit because the preacher's talking about some of that stuff, and Sunday school teachers are teaching about some of that stuff. And week 3, he learns more about praying more effectively and deeper in the different aspects of prayer. Every week he just keeps learning something else about the Holy Spirit and how we're empowered by the Holy Spirit and this God working through us through the Spirit. And he just keeps learning. And I have a testimony. You mean I have a testimony? You mean I can tell somebody about Jesus? Yeah, you can. Wow. Let me tell you. And we teach about Paul's testimony and how he adapted to his testimony and how God can use it. And he just keeps on growing. And then finally, little tomatoes start showing up in week 6. Because he's actually gone on and told his family about God. And he's even bought a Bible for his children. And things start happening. He starts being fruitful in his life because somebody's there with him, taking care of him, watering, nurturing, feeding as they go. Now, and then of course week 7, you see that not only the blooms, but there are other tomatoes. And he's fully engaged. And that's pretty cool. Healthy plant. But look at that other plant. It's just ignored. Randy Craig, when he told me about this, I laughed so hard, I was crying. We were on the phone. He said, "Brother, you don't know how nervous I was, because I was so tempted. I wanted to water that other plant so bad, because I just knew it was going to die, and then all this other work wouldn't have happened. It would just been for nothing." And so he trusted God and ignored that little plant. Okay, and every day, every week, you go out and take a picture. All right. So, is it too late?
No.
Okay, I want you to think of 2 things. Thank you, Karen. You're right. Might not be good at tomatoes. That's a good answer, though. Never too late. When we started our ministry, our focus was on baby Christians. We want to get to those baby lambs before the wolves get them, because the wolves will go after them. And then we started thinking, but golly, if 97% of people aren't even sharing the gospel, how many baby lambs are we getting actually? We're actually getting more new members than we're getting baby lambs. People who move to our community and come to our church and they join, and we're glad. Okay, so we got these new members. We have more new members than we have new Christians. And so let's offer it to both of them. That's great. So we did that. Then we dawned on us. A congregation that's already there is bigger than both of these put together. That's when we named the congregation Dormant Congregation. It's not bad people, it's wonderful people. They love God, they give, they serve, but they're not reproducing. Most of them have not only have they not shared the gospel with anybody, they don't know how to share the gospel. And not only have they not shared the gospel, they haven't even invited somebody to come to church with them. Just come and listen. I mean, they don't even do that. They come and they go. They come and they go. That's sort of what's happened American, in North America, Western culture. Wow. What would happen, not just for the baby Christians that got ignored and then later we caught up with them, but right now I have 70-year-olds. I got one guy just turned 80. I was at a Methodist church in East Texas. When we finished our workshop like this, she packing up my stuff, and she says, "Young man, come here." She was very, just looked like my little history teacher, when I was a junior. "Young man, come here." I went running. One, I don't ever get called young man, so that was pretty cool, you know. I said, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "I have a bone to pick with you." 80-year-old woman. She's shaking her finger at me. "I got a bone to pick with you." And I'm going, "Uh-oh." I wonder if she's got a doctrinal issue with what I said, or I didn't know what it was. And then tears started running down her cheek. She said, "What took you so long to get here?" I'm 80 years old. All I could think about is how many people I could have been discipling, how many young ladies I could have walked with. Nobody's even brought this to me. Nobody's challenged me in this. In all my years, nobody's challenged me in this. I said, I got here as quick as I could. And she's holding my hands while she's talking to me. I reached over and I put my hands right here. And I said, "Ma'am, I feel a pulse. A really strong pulse. Used to have plenty of miles left to invest in some young lady." She took her big book and she says, "And I will." Okay? It doesn't matter. It's never too late. For the oldest people in our church to the youngest. It's never too late. But, listen, we do not do this from the pulpit and say, "We got some old people in here who's not reproducing." No. Man, that's a mistake. No, you just start letting this happen naturally. And God will draw them to you. He will draw them to you. It's happening in my church right now. Okay, we got every age group you can think of going through this together. It's amazing. So, again, we got to get it started. So let's look what happened. You start watering this old plant. It looks like it's shriveled up. Week 1, we meet with Paul, the person who's going to disciple. Okay, it's not real big, but it's better than it was. Got a little water, got a little help. Then they started having a little quiet time. It was more than just reading something. They actually got in the Bible and started journaling and trying to think about what it says to them. And then they start praying at a deeper level, and they start praying for the lost people in their world. They got a whole family lost, and they've never even been praying for them. They wishing they'd go to church, but they never really prayed for their souls. Now they are. And now they're even actually learning how to share testimonies, or a Christmas, or a funeral, or a reunion, or something. They might get a chance to share, you know? And it just keeps happening. And they start growing. And that's the actual tomato plant that was totally neglected. All right? Pretty cool. Never too late. But, read this. "My Father is glorified by this, that you bear much fruit." You see, God, Jesus said that. My Father is glorified that you bear much fruit. And we want to glorify God, don't we? And He's telling us. Jesus is telling us how. One of the ways we can do that. All right? But here's the question. While we just spent 7 weeks with that other one, and then we spent another 7 weeks with the old one, well, what about that first one? 7 more weeks went by. I wonder what happened if it continued to receive attention. After 14 weeks, it produced 52 tomatoes. You see, healthy things reproduce. Okay? So, healthy things reproduce. We want to help grow up healthy disciples of Christ. They will reproduce, not because you make them reproduce. God, the Holy Spirit, He will draw all men to Himself, just like He said. You know, when we built our new sanctuary years ago, we took the phrase from the verse where Jesus said, He says, "I will build," He says, "upon this rock I will build my church." Our focus was, Jesus said, "I will build my church." He did not say, "I will build your church." He did not say, "You will build my church." I will build my church. That's what He said, didn't He? Okay. But He lets us get in on it. He lets us join Him in that. And that's what He wants to do. He wants us to do that. read this. Other seed fell on good soil. It came up, grew, and produced its crop, multiplying 30, 60, or even 100 times. That's our prayer as we go. So what's the difference then between a church program and a New Testament process? We've been doing programs for a long time. There's nothing wrong with them, but if that's all we're doing, that will not get us where God wants us to go. The church program starts and usually has an anticipated date of conclusion. You know, there's times the church can do, we're going to have a year of prayer. It's wonderful. Prayer is great. We're going to have a focused year of prayer. You know, a year of this, or a year of outreach, or a year of ministry, or a year of... No. This is something we never put a date on in any way. We get people equipped, and we want them to do this for the rest of their life. And then when people come, new people come, and this is what they find, they don't know anything else. They don't know any different. That's what happened to me with William. I just thought everybody got discipled like that. I didn't know people were not getting discipled. But in my own church, where I was discipled, and after I was discipling people for years, it dawns on me that as a church, we weren't doing it. As individuals, just like in your church, there's probably some who aren't. But as a church, have we embraced this and said, this is who we are, and this is how we want to train our people. That's where we've got to go. The New Testament process, on the other hand, like disciple making, equips Christians with spiritual growth skills that last a lifetime. That's the big key. That's the big key. We learned this morning there's a difference between teaching and training. Both are important, but they're not the same. Teaching relates to the ears, hearing. Training relates to the eyes, seeing. Observation. Paul said, read this, whatever you have learned or received or heard from me or seen in me, put it into practice, and the God of peace will be with you. And again, talking about heard and seen. You need to hear and see. If you don't ever see and all you do is hear, that's not how we learn. How many of you learned how to swim online? No. No. Somebody had to get in there with you and teach you. And so that's our next example now. Robert, can I pick on you? Would you come up with me? Isn't it Robert? Richard. That's what I said, Richard. Come here. This is my good friend, Robert, who thinks his name is Richard. There you go. There you go. Thank you, Richard. I knew it was an R. I wasn't too far off. No, I didn't get you. Okay, my brother. This is a wrestler. I asked him if he looks like he was a ball player. I said, man, I could have coached you. You come stand over here in front of your friends, okay? Because these people are here today because you're here. Did you know? They came to hear from you today. And let me tell you why they're here. See, everybody in this room came because they saw an ad in the paper that said you were going to be here, okay, to teach them to do something they never learned how to do. They're adults. These are adults. And somehow their parents never taught them how to tie their shoes, these people. Ever. It's really embarrassing. So they wear sandals and they have Velcro and they wear boots. But they don't wear anything that ties because they don't know how. And then all of a sudden they see this little ad that you are going to be in town to teach them how to tie their shoes. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Aren't you excited?
Yeah.
And see, we promised we're going to turn the cameras off and everything. You know, you will never see okay? And so here's the deal. How old are you, brother? 33. How old do you think you were when you started tying shoes?
3.
Wow.
4, maybe 5.
Okay. Let's say 3. Let's just use that because it makes math simple. If you're 33 and you've been tying shoes since you're 3, that means you've been tying shoes for 30 years, 3 decades. Y'all have never tied a shoe ever. Would y'all think then that he is better at it than you are?
Yeah.
That's why you're here. Because you're not going to come listen to somebody teach you something that they don't know how to do. So he is the expert at shoe tying. And I want you to put your hands behind your back, and keep them there. Do not look at your feet, do not lift up your feet, keep your hands behind your back, and I want you to teach them how to tie the shoes. Okay, that was the right answer. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Even if he would have tried, and said, you know, make bunny ears, and he would cut it to see him. Even if he had tried, you know, I was in Orlando, Florida, and it was like thousands, man, it was huge, big ballroom, AME, the African Methodist Episcopal Gathering, it's the largest black denomination in the world. We got an 8-year partnership with them for international. And so we're in this big ballroom, and I look. What I do is I look around and I just see some tie shoes, and that's when I pick on somebody. I almost got beat, but right. And so I look over, and there's this pastor sitting there, and he's all dressed up. He got tie shoes on. I bring him up, and we did exactly the same thing. And these brothers and sisters, they have a good time while they amen and they have a good time. So the whole time I'm doing that, they're laughing at him, and you know. And really what they were glad of is it was him, not them. And so we get through the whole thing, and we do that, and puts his hand behind, and as soon as I said, now teach your brothers and sisters how to tie the shoes. And I mean, immediately, he wheeled around. He said, you got to be kidding me. That's what he did. And everybody, whoa, laughed. And that's what I say to the church, you got to be kidding me. The thing that we think that Christians are going to grow because we talk to them, because we tell them stuff. We got to show them. Brush the teeth, tie the shoes, ride the bike, swim, everything. We teach, like training. Why have we not done it in the church? I have no idea. I don't have the answer. But I don't want us to feel bad about it. I just want us to do something about it. Does that make sense? Let's don't let condemnation creep in here. Let's don't lose sleep tonight and feel guilty and all that. No. Let's just come under conviction and do something about it. That's what the day is about. Okay? All right. Now, what we're going to do, because we've had lunch, and we're sitting a little bit, so this has got to be like a 2-minute deal, okay? Anybody needs to go to the restroom, or just wake up and shake your head, or stretch your back, or something. 2 minutes. 2 minutes is all we got, because we need to get back to this. Real quick, move around.
What happened?